This is SportsReplays here. So yeah, decent week. Could be a lot worse. There was a few things that went wrong this week, which we'll get to in a minute. But most players did all right. Went up in the rankings in the top 15,000 now. Still not quite as good as the last few seasons, but it's not could have been a lot worse this season. There's nothing really much more I can do now. The damage has already been done. So we'll just get straight into it. So Sheasel 122, just a standard score. Whitfield 97. So it's one of his lowest scores in a while, actually. So I guess that's one of the more disappointing parts of my side this week. Whitfield, that's okay for one of his lowest scores. You can't be perfect every week. And then Dacos 66. It's very disappointing. Had him as a vice captain option, which I kind of regret doing in a way. Collingwood actually weren't too bad. 66, yeah, not quite good enough. A bit below Dacos standards, but once again, you're not going to be perfect every game. Although 66 is quite a fair bit off the mark, to be honest with you. Even getting a 90 is disappointing, but 66 by his standards, it's been a bit more of a roller coaster pick this season. Dacos, he's had good games, but then he had a couple of shockers. You've got Whitfield and Sheasel more expensive than him now. We'll never have thought Whitfield would be, but and then Luke Ryan 156. Yeah, so he's bounced back the last couple of weeks. Should have had him as a vice captain or captain option. That would have been a decent option there. But yeah, 156, great score from him. Sort of kept Fremantle in the game. And he was just he's an excellent. He's been a decent player for the last couple of seasons. Decent option. Did have a bit of a rough month though, but he's bounced back the last couple of weeks. I think Nick Martin 130, so and another decent score from Martin. And look, he's probably one of Essendon's better players, to be honest. Nothing much more I can really say. Does get a lot of the ball, but can turn it over. So I'm not too sure exactly. Is he going to be a primo midfielder next year? Who knows at what position he is? He's one of those versatile players that seems to play midfield, forward, or back. So who knows going forward. And then Houston 111, which is okay. And then on the bench, Showmaker didn't play, and then Warner emergency is 12. So hopefully he can get a full game in. Who knows? As an emergency option, but as long as all these players play, then no drama happens, and we should be all fine there. And on to the midfield. So start off with Bontempelli, chose him as captain, scored a couple of goals, so it wasn't the best option this week, but it wasn't a complete disaster, which is great. I think it was more of a safe option. But Bulldogs ended up losing by a fair amount in the end, which is probably one of the most disappointing sides this weekend. Which we'll get to in a minute, a player who I'm really annoyed about, and it's been a bit of an absolute disaster. But yeah, Bont 119, not as good as last week. That'd be right for when I don't pick him. He does well, then when I do pick him as captain, he just doesn't do as well. You got Merritt, Ryan, Gawn, and even Cherry. If you have him, would have been a better option significantly. But it is what it is. I was expecting him to get like 130, 140 against Adelaide, considering Adelaide been poor this season, but Adelaide ended up beating Bulldogs by a fair amount. And Zach Butters 131, which is a decent score from him. And he's actually the second highest average in my side in the midfield. Or he's tied with Ryan. Yeah, in the midfield there. So it's a bit of I'm not too surprised. He's a good player. And then Merritt, 145, a great score from him, and really should have won him side the game. It's just Merritt. Yeah, look, there's one Essendon player you should have in your side. It's Merritt. Merritt and Martin, two players who kept us in it. Really should have won that game. Oh God, we always find a way to lose these games. We're going to beat Fremantle. with them lose against Gold Coast, who get their first win, against us at Marvel. It's just, it was just a crap last quarter. I mean, it's just an absolute shit show when we play. It really is. All you have to do is kick a couple of goals and would have won that. Would have been in the 8 tonight. And then Sarong, 114. A decent score from him. Just a standard, score from a player of his ability. And then Tom Green, that's okay. So he's bounced back slightly this month. He had like a poor 6-week period. But at least he steadied. So it was a bit of a huge concern with him. And then Sam Walsh, like his whole team, was just garbage. Except maybe Matt Kennedy. It's just not good enough from a player like Walsh. 89, that's okay for, just an average footballer, but from Walsh, a little disappointing. I should never have, there was a bit of a risk getting him in, I guess, coming back from an injury. Everyone went for him, and everyone took the bait. You can't really base it on one match. It's like with Ridley as well. Although Ridley's defender, so it's a little bit of a different story, though he's injury prone as well. And then Jordan Dawson, 105, which is okay. Was hoping for a little bit more because you got a high Dream Team score. So I was hoping if he just sorts out that efficiency, you're getting like an average of 110 this year. Because he would have been actually an okay pick for Dream Team, but for Supercoach he's been ordinary. And then Matt Rao, 110. Gold Coast wouldn't have won without him, to be honest. The only good thing from that game is 3 of the players that had it, and that match did well. So, that's all I can really take from it. It just fixes up his efficiency as well and has a bit better skills. Rao, he's going to be be one of the best players in the comp, or be in the top 10 anyway. Unfortunately no one on the bench played, which is a bit concerning if there's any injuries or any nonsense that goes on. There's a bit of a stuff up there because Downing got dropped, which is a bit frustrating. And I don't think he's going to get back in the side unless there's another injury. And then on to the rucks. So Gorn 177. Glad I hold on to him. Phenomenal. I wish I had him as captain. And then we go to English, 85. It's a little disappointing considering people have got Sherry. And if I pick Sherry over English, it'll be miles ahead where I'm at. I would have had an even better round. The forward line. This is where things get a bit of a roller coaster ride. We'll talk about one player here. In the later on, we'll know who I'm speaking about. So we've got Flanders, 93. A little disappointing from him. Considering he got a couple goals early on, sort of dropped off in the second half. Zorko, 117. That's okay. Heaney, back to his best, 144. Won in the game. Without him, they would have lost that. Then Moore was okay. Probably liked a bit more considering Hawthorn won by a lot, which was a huge shock. One of the biggest surprises of the season. Luke Jackson, 81. A little disappointing considering Sean Darcy was laid out. But there's nothing really much I can really do at this stage. And then Charlie Curnow, the biggest fuck up of the round by an absolute mile on my side. And the worst trade I've done this season is Charlie Curnow. Great job, fuckwit. Honestly, 17. He got 1 goal and that was it. It's just crap like this. I bring him in my side hoping he'll get like couple 140s. You have big games. Because they play a few bottom half sides, Carlton. To dish out crap like this. It's just, I don't like Carlton, but it's just, you pick a player, you're thinking he's going to bounce back and get a few bags, all this hype around Curnow. And he dishes out a 17. I'm never going to pick a key forward unless they're on, price. Not in the modern age. He's not as good as Franklin, Lloyd, Carey, or Jonathan Brown, or even Barry Hall. He's just not on those calibre of players. He's just, Carlton were crap. Don't get me wrong. It was kind of the whole team, really, or majority of it. He didn't get as much ball as what he usually would have. At least play a player like him, up the ground if need to be. And that's the thing with Carlton. The depth is crap. And that's the reason why they probably won't play finals now. It's just, I mean, as an Essendon supporter, I'm sort of happy and frustrated at the same time with this. If I picked a Cardwell or even a Hogan, it would have been better off. It's just, frustrating. It really is, this game. 17. If I didn't have Curnow and have, I don't know, Gorn as captain or Sherry my side, I would have had an excellent week. It would have put me up the ranks even more. So Curnow, biggest fraud I traded in. I was never sold on the pick, but I thought, a few people were hyping him up. Had a few easy runs playing North Melbourne, which he did okay, but he didn't get that 140 score. They barely scrapped over the line, Carlton, with that. They did crap against Richmond. He's had to play a few bottom sides. Cool. He's playing Hawthorn, not the best defence, and he gets 17. And Collingwood shut him out last week. Oh, man. I was probably better off just keeping with Manor, which I'll probably do in the future. I mean, who have Carlton got next week? Unless they got like a really crap team. West Coast, interesting. He kicked 10 goals against it last year, but he's not quite as good as what he was last year. I don't think that's going to happen. He's playing West Coast. Manor, he's playing earlier. I mean, if Manor can get over 90, I'll probably just take it, to be honest. I would have better off if that last couple of weeks if I had Manor as an emergency, just take his score and just, fuck Curnow. Yeah, and if Curnow gets a 120, it's so be it. I mean, he hasn't really exploded this year, really, even though he's, second or third on the Coleman. This says a lot about key forwards these days. They're not, they don't just dominate or kick as many goals as they used to. Even a player like Curnow. Like, if this is 15 years ago, it would have been a different story. Probably would have been averaging 100. But it just is what it is. With key forwards and the forward line in general, you're just not going to get a consistency with it. I mean, overall, a decent week, but could have been a lot better as well. With a few of the decisions, I guess I can't really make any really changes, and I'm not going to trade out Curnow unless someone gets injured. I do have 100k left, so I mean, I'll probably do it in the last round. Just in case there's any bullshit. If he's in trouble as well, so I mean, if I was going to do a trade, it would probably be Curnow now. Unless someone else gets injured or something like that. Even though Dawson's been performed poorly, he's not going to dish out a 17 score unless he gets injured. I mean, a player of Curnow's ability is just there. I mean, that's really it. This week, there's nothing really much more I can go on about. Thank you for watching.